Is the microphone in our way?
No, it should be off to the side. Hey, guys. Welcome to another Friday.
Weird.
Dude, you're like a fucking cat. Can you keep it straight? So
No,
we're the Sicilian brothers.
I can't. I haven't been able to since I was a teenager.
That's going straight. That's different. Roll it. Just fucking roll it. So it's been a kind of crazy week and a half, I would say.
Yeah.
We somehow went viral for stuff that we do every day, which is crazy because literally the 2 days before that, we had a worse arrest, if I would say. Like, if we filmed that one...
There were two arrests, just to be clear.
Crackheads. Crackheads are great content.
There were two different situations, two different houses, and that was my second arrest for that week.
Yeah. And the other one was even better because she was climbing on fences, talking to neighbors, everything. It was unbelievable. But Tony was there only, and he didn't get the content.
Well, I was dealing with the police, and there were
with said crackhead.
There was a lot of
There's
things
no
happening.
excuse. There's always room for content.
Well, then I need a body cam footage thing.
We got to talk to Ryan. So we just got the notification, all right, that Barstool U is going to be blowing out that video, and
I don't know who that is.
Barstool is an entire.
It's like one of the largest media.
Yeah, but they have everything. So Barstool U is their campus, right?
Yeah, like college. So.
Yeah. So it's their college scene. They have Barstool Sports, which is just sports. It's all pizza review guy.
Huh.
One bite.
Yeah,
Tony.
you know, one bite.
Yeah, one bite. So it's been a wild ride, but fun. Wow.
Well, just to be honest, because I was going through some of the comments, and there were a lot of them. I was going through some of the comments because I just wanted to see what people's reaction was.
I was waiting to see how many we were going to get yelled at.
Yeah, I felt like a lot of them were going to yell at us for
kicking out the sweet lady.
Yes, and that I just, to my own defense, I had no idea that we were on camera. So I didn't know until after the police hauled her away that you were recording the entire thing.
He was in the corner, and out of nowhere, our aunt calls him.
Yeah, I was getting phone calls.
Good old Aunt Sue calls him. It's like, "What are you doing? You being safe?"
Like I'm in the middle, and I was on my phone the entire time because I was dealing with the police, but I was also trying to make sure that there were scheduled people to come do showings and stuff. So it was mayhem, but controlled, and it was really nice. So
she pulled the yard signs out of nowhere, and she tried to use them like they were a lease. Out of nowhere, she just.
Okay, that's where Sherlock Holmes. Okay,
yeah.
So
that was
I
the
did
yard
not see
sign
that.
was
I just heard her say, "I got to call Sherlock Holmes." And I was like, she needs.
She and one of the things, obviously, there was because it was a span of 3 or 4 hours that this was all happening. She did not. She told us that she had spoken to Mr. Sherlock, and he's the one that gave her the code to the house.
Yeah. We found out afterwards what actually really happened was they just jimmied and pried the lockbox open, because when TJ went to go lock it back up, and we're like, all right, well, we got people that want to come see it and got to get it cleaned up, so we went to go lock it back up, and the lockbox was broken, and we had to get another one on there. So that's how she actually got in. They just jimmied the lockbox. But
it is what it is.
Comically enough, the buyer for that house came by, drove past it when she was getting arrested. They had all the cop cars out, drove by, called Daniela and said, "Hey, we want to come back and see it, when everything's okay."
And they signed a contract.
Yeah, they signed a contract, bought the house. Well, they know that we take care of the area. We really police it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we make sure that crackheads don't stay.
I don't know what this is, but I think we're supposed to be playing Jenga.
So Ryan and crew want us to play Jenga. Wow. But I just realized halfway through that we both have restless leg syndrome.
Yeah, we're going to be
And
shaking.
this bitch is going to fall.
I'm sorry. I should have made it more accessible for your condition.
That's not thinking right. So, but no, it was overall. That's been fun, kind of crazy.
The thing that's surprising to me is how many random people call or text or message us and say, "Oh, I saw your video on TikTok," and
Yeah, 7 million people is a lot of people. You don't realize like how that reach goes, right? People out of state, all over. But it's also the algorithm.
I wonder how
don't know
many.
that
I wonder how
works.
many people from like other countries have seen it.
That fuck.
Well, I say that because, like, I don't know. One of the things we talk about in real estate is what are there other countries that do?
Investing.
Yeah, are there
Like-
other
like us, yeah.
You know, like us, and I don't know that. I don't know what their real estate market looks like. So it would be just interesting if someone from Europe, Italy, or something did a TikTok of one of their evictions.
Well, that was another thing is that supposedly that we
Oh.
had people that actually did recaps and whatever. Not recaps.
Remixes?
Yeah, whatever that's supposed to call. Stitches? Stitch. There it is. Stitch.
Lilo?
No. Why you gotta throw me off? Yo, this Jenga thing's got me looped.
Look at how unstable my hands are.
I know. We're over here.
So the video went viral, which is cool. You know, I
Hasn't really changed anything yet. We still do
Well,
day-to-day
it's
ops.
Did it give you any motivation to
It gave me...
kill the game?
No, I mean, nothing. It was just fun. It was reward. I mean, you're doing it for a while. You like to have fun once in a while. So,
Yeah.
I'm happy to go back to the comments and people's feedback. I'm happy that people didn't just automatically think that we were the bad people. I in no way, shape, or form. There was no malicious intent on our side. She was super nice. There's a longer story. I don't want to disclose her personal stuff. But
so again, I don't know her name. I don't know anything about her. But it does shine a light on what people deal with, right? What investors deal with. Like all these people that, the bad landlord kicking out, people, right? That's not always true, right? That woman opened the door. One of my favorite comments was the girl opened the door like she was on MTV Cribs. And it's true. Like she opened that door psychologically. She thought she owned it, right? She was there. We were in the wrong. Like, no,
Well,
this is
I
just a
think
mental
that
break.
speaks to, shelter is the base of Maslow's hierarchy and how psychologically embedded having your own space and
is
shelter
your
is for a lot of people.
I think that what it shined a light on for me is, yes, we already know we have a homeless, we have a shelter problem, right, in this country or in the world, but in my version for the situation there is she had mental issues.
Yeah, she had mental issues plus
And
drugs.
so I don't think, my takeaway was not that she was a bad person or I didn't even care about the drugs, like all that stuff. It was, she needed to get back to a safe place and get back on her meds, right? We had a conversation with the officer. That's what intentionally, that's what was going to happen, right? And that was a good thing for her. So it wasn't like we were just being mean, right, and evil.
I was at first. Don't get me wrong. I had to set the tone. But I mean, once the guy packed his bag and left, our demeanor and everything changed.
I think,
right?
I think you go into. I've been in that situation a lot of times. Arguably last year, I was in that situation, and I was almost the one that was arrested, right? So, yeah, your play.
Is it?
Yeah.
Could we use this to talk a little bit about squatters' rights?
Well, that's the beauty of it is they shouldn't have any. You're in Texas, thankfully. The cop actually said, "Sweetheart, you're in Texas. We don't have squatters' rights." Like,
Okay, so yes, we could talk about squatters' rights.
sorry, Sohail.
And I'll take the I'll take the opposite end of the stick because Nick doesn't want to take the nice end of the stick.
There is no nice end of the stick. You're in somebody else's house.
There,
In other states like New York,
Well, you're
we
in
have our
someone
brother,
else's
right?
investment.
So let's not even though it doesn't matter about their investment. All right, let's talk about New York, right? We have a brother up there. He has not a two-story house. What the fuck is it? Ranch?
like a two-family.
It's a ranch, right, or some shit.
It's a
Anyway,
two-family
it's a
house.
two-family house. Downstairs is an apartment. He owns it. He's had tenants downstairs before not paying rent for over a year. Just watching them come into the house, he can't do anything legally, nothing. They just come into their house, not paying shit. They're still getting paid. They're still doing everything except they're just living there free. You're still on the hook for taxes, insurance, everything, every cost of living. And it doesn't matter if you go belly up, if you can't pay your mortgage, the bank's going to come and get it. And then guess what? There's more squatters in it.
Yes,
It's a system that doesn't work.
yes. Fundamentally, this just got way out of control. There is a bad side to the homeless problem. Each state's going to deal with it differently. New York has some pretty ridiculous rules and regulations for evictions and standards, and it is very biased. And the people that are getting hurt are not the mega rich, and I think that what most people need to understand is that the average investor is someone who owns a second home.
Most of the time, they
Right?
didn't even buy it.
That's
Sometimes it's left over to them in passing of a parent or somebody.
Yeah, so that's the average investor. They own two houses. Okay, we're not talking about the mega rich super corporations that have all these Class A apartments and stuff like that. That's not who we're defending. What I'm saying is that there needs to be a balance of reason in certain situations. In our situation last week or 2 weeks ago, that lady was absolutely in the wrong, and the police did the right thing. The one that where I almost went to jail, arguably I was in the wrong, and I went back to court and figured out the right way, and it took me time, but again, it was the right way. A friend of mine, you were talking about our brother, but a friend of mine has, a small portfolio of houses in upstate New York, and late 2019, early 2020, he had
Said it was okay not to pay.
they did say it was okay not to pay, but it wasn't okay for him not to pay, and so he lost everything and had to go bankrupt. Right, so everything that he worked for is gone.
Yeah, and it's somebody above you saying it's okay. Your tenants don't have to pay.
Yeah, but not.
Where the hell is their relief?
Yeah.
Where's
Y'all make
right?
a really good point, going away from like the mega corporations and stuff. This hurts everyone who's not super rich, and the only incremental solution I could see is investing in public housing. But instead of doing that, they'll just say no. Let's take it off of the person who has a second home who needs some money.
It's hard, and we don't like it. I don't want to be in that situation where I have to put that lady out, but I also have to protect. We have responsibilities. We have personal investors that we're indebted to, and I mean my own. I was having a conversation with somebody on the way over to the studio this morning, and I was like, man, every now and then I feel whenever I discuss what I do, I feel like there's an interpretation that it's very predatory, stealing houses at half of what they're worth, and there's no malicious intent. Now, I can't speak for everyone, but on my side, in my career, ethics and things like that are paramount. So I personally think that I make sound business decisions based on what I need for my family and my personal responsibilities. And I think to each person, that's a different, right? Everyone's got their own bar of standards of what they need to meet and be happy with.
Yeah. Because it also so you were talking about who else we have responsibilities to, right? Our lenders and stuff, but it's also like the neighbors, right? It's as simple as that. Like we owe it to the neighbors of our properties to make sure that our property isn't bringing down their values, right? Our property isn't someplace that just crackheads reside, and
I think
there is a responsibility there at the end of the day too.
What
And
is
you have to.
what is the recourse your neighbors have in that scenario?
nothing. And I just
You
want
say
You're just saying
nothing.
it's
Well,
like
I just want to be clear on something. My responsibility isn't fuck their values. My responsibility isn't to protect their value of their asset.
but-
My responsibility is to protect the safety of the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's
okay.
all right, there you
so
go. Reframe
so
it,
it
but
is
yes.
not. It is not my job is to make sure that the distressed asset that previously burned was vacant is becoming a heaping pile of garbage is less garbage because that's what I'm capable of doing and that's what I can offer them.
And
I can't offer them-
subsequently, that will keep it. That so yeah.
but the goal is
Safe zone sound.
is the housing, right? Putting the house back. It's not oh, let me do this to improve everyone's value. No, that the goal is to put the house back, right? To ultimately solve the problem of whatever the reason the house is distressed.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Most of the time, we're pushing values even. So we're gonna end this game early. So Hill.
That's the only way to play it.
Yes. Can we cue like you are the champion for me because I just won?
We are the champions.
Yeah, but me. Like Tony's the champion.
Yeah.
Just-
But me.
You can't do that. We won't make $1 off this.
No.
Anyway,
You can sing it.
I think it'll be interesting to see where the video goes. There are more. I don't make it a project to film evictions.
I can tell you this right now.
I will say that
We just started a trend though,
sure
because
I-
every fucking investor is now recording their evictions and going live on them to try to get value.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think there's that's going to come with its own problems. But
Yeah.
I do have to say that there was something on Instagram this week where I believe it was a Dallas sheriff live streamed a traffic stop.
Yep.
And
She sued him.
got sued by the person because basically the officer live streamed and there was a disclosure of personal information, right? And I think again, anytime
That is demonic. That's crazy.
I think anytime, and I maybe I'm overly paranoid because I know Ryan and Co hate me because I'm very paranoid about what we say and maybe how it comes across and all that crap. But I think there is some validity to we have a responsibility to police ourselves ethically and the things that we say and how we treat people and all that. So do I think that the cop should have live streamed? No, maybe the cop could have recorded it and then edited out her personal information. Like, what a dumbass.
I mean, you got to think, why are they live streaming on TikTok if not just for clout, which is not a mode of operation I want my police.
I mean, does the article say anything about why?
So
I understand why you would if you were being pulled over, obviously.
Oh yeah, but well, maybe was that the officer's motivation?
Transparency. I mean, in that case, sure, but that's not. I mean,
all right. So there are social media people out there that are cops, right? I've seen countless hot woman cops, right, that have social medias and stuff like that.
I feel like we're missing one.
This one, obviously, guy just made a poor decision, I'm assuming.
Well, again, was there a reason? Was he like, oh, this is going to be funny? A person's dressed up like a clown. Like, I'm just curious. Was there a reason?
Nah.
Well, then they're idiots. But that being said, we don't have that many evictions or set outs. We don't really have that problem all too often. So it's not going to be a trend for us.
Didn't we just have our HVAC ripped out of the cage? That was one of our recent issues. Wasn't that Longview? Ignore me. Go on to the next.
We lost an HVAC unit?
I thought we did, but
No.
shit, they're all blend together.
No, we haven't lost an HVAC unit recently. Yeah, I mean, all our houses have been doing good. What was sad was that this house is so close. It was being sold. It was, like you said, that there were people walking
I was
past
so nervous
or driving past.
that, and it sounds so messed up, but I was nervous that somebody shit on the carpet, right? Like, and it sounds like, who would do that? That's like the number one thing they do. I don't understand it.
I mean,
but,
there were 2 bathrooms though, which they did use.
yeah.
So
We didn't have running water, but at least they kept it in a contained...
where it needed to go.
Yeah. So,
Oh, I didn't tell you this story.
no. Do tell.
Weird. So I met the clean out guy who went over there the next day to do the cleanup on the house. He bumped into TJ at another property. TJ and I at another property the other day, and said, "Oh, I didn't tell you that. When we were cleaning up the garage, because I don't know if in the video it shows that, but the garage door was open." The door to the garage was open, so
You mean the back shed?
it's a garage. So yes, so when they were cleaning up the property, and they went in the shed garage to clean and make sure there was no trash in there and stuff like that, there was a large pile of feces that was needed to be cleaned up.
I'm telling you, they just shit on the floor.
I mean, it's
There was a viral video I saw yesterday, and I think it was out of California, and it was
Of
a
course it
homeless
was.
guy in a park washing his ass, like just wiping his ass in the park, and somebody was offering him like food or something, or like, hey, trying to help, and he was cursing at him because he only wanted money, like, oh, your help is trashy, fuck animals.
Do you I think I'm very proud of our team for the edit was done very proper. I don't think it was exact, because everything that happened in the edited video is exactly the way it happened.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't edited to make it seem like it was exact. It was like the truth, right?
People caught on. That was the thing that I was most shocked about, is how detailed people actually look into things. People noticed right away what shoes she was wearing in the beginning, that she changed clothes, right? Like all this shit. So again, it went on for so long that we...
What no one knows, she was naked before we got there.
Yeah, that's how we got the call.
Yeah. She was naked before we got there.
So we got the call from a neighbor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Called Daniela and said, hey, you have one of your tenants is running around naked. And we're like, nobody's living there. We just fixed the house.
Yeah.
What do you mean? That's not us. And we hightail over there. And yeah, she was running around. And that's why when we first got there, she was only in like a sports bra. Because, again, she was running around naked out front. Thankfully, we weren't there for that.
Yeah, so she was naked before we even got there, so,
But, like, that video went on for so long that, like, that whole encounter, like, she went inside, she changed, she came back out.
Yeah.
So,
But hopefully she's getting the help that she needs.
probably not.
I don't necessarily know that anything else crazy has been going on. Yeah, the viral video is kind of like taken over as far as like socially, right? Business wise, we've been slammed. I think we did just in the last like 7 days, we did like 10 new deals, which is crazy. One thing I noticed is that people will be like, oh, I signed, 10 contracts. And I was chastising Mason because he's like, well, I signed a contract. And I was like, bro, we don't count contracts signed. We count closings, So I don't necessarily want to hear you all excited because you contracted something, because if it's under an option and we're not going to perform, it doesn't count to me, right? Mm-hmm. Like the way I run my business is we contract with a point of closing and performing. So, but yeah, those 10 in the last week are legit purchase and sales, and it's very
The machine's moving.
and it's stressful,
going.
But I feed off of that stress. I enjoy that stress, which is it's nice. It's an energy that I can work with. If it's not that way, I'm not happy.
Well, I think that's because you like if you're not built like not building it, but if you're not working on it or fine tuning it, like it's not going anywhere almost, right? Then it's not improving and it's not growing.
Yeah, I want to constantly be moving in a positive direction forward so that we can always be, leveling ourselves up or leveling our investors up or leveling our team up or, planning a vacation or like there's just got to be a point. Otherwise, I could just go get. Honestly, I joke around with people all the time, and I'm like, if I ever went and got a job, I'd probably get a job at Buc-ee's because they pay really well and they have health insurance, and it seems like it's pretty simple.
I used to always say I'd be a Walmart greeter, but now I've changed.
I would rather work at Buc-ee's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I'm going to slam the fuck out of Buc-ee's real quick.
Wait a minute.
Because I have an issue with them.
Did you hear about the mega pulled pork sandwiches they're selling now?
No, I don't give a fuck about it because they're assholes. All right, this is why Buc-ee's asshole. All right, that little gerbil or whatever it is. They went and they completely gutted.
Yeah, it's
Gopher
or something.
They completely gutted their entire menu. All right, so a couple years ago, you used to take pride driving to Buc-ee's and then going in there and getting a badass sandwich or a wrap or something. Yo, all of those items are out now. Right? They used to have a spicy ciabatta chicken right on a ciabatta sandwich. Badass sandwich. Mike and I used to drive for miles just to go get one, right? Nope. Got rid of that.
Well,
they got rid of the California wrap.
Their food has been trashed.
Yo, they got rid of the California wrap. It's the easiest fucking thing to make. It's called California, for Christ's sake. It doesn't get easier, right?
Lettuce,
tomato.
Conservative tears.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous.
Tears of our enemies.
That's gone.
Like,
all they have is pulled pork and like the brisket and like chopped. And I'm like,
maybe
why? Why did you downgrade on that?
I would
still ordering chicken, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Are there chickens to be ordered?
I don't know. Hit up Tyson.
Apparently, there's no more eggs, and you're gonna have to get fake chicken for the rest of your life, right?
No, but tag that goddamn gopher because whoever's doing the menu on that is royally messing up.
I would yes, maybe get back to making some more food.
Sohail just said that their food has gone downhill.
I get it, but maybe there's a reason.
No, it's been years. It's been years. This is somebody got into Buc-ee's headquarters.
I think I just went twice in a row.
And slowly
been
working their menu down and working. I'm telling you, it's somebody at like Shell.
I think the gopher was under the hat of the chef and the gopher died. So he can no longer ratatouille the chef.
It could be that, but it doesn't make sense because their menu
and
is
also,
trash now.
Sad excuse for kolaches. Very sad. I'm sorry.
I don't eat kolaches.
Oh,
I kind of don't understand them either.
It's
a sausage roll. I know what it is, but it's stupid.
No. You're gonna start saying Taylor ham or something. That's
No.
a Philly thing, huh? Never mind.
Yeah. What are you talking about, Sohill?
Nothing.
All right. What else is on your list to talk about today?
It's a broad one. So
I don't know that they identify as broads. Wait, did you go?
you just went.
Yeah, so you gotta go.
The market's changed, right? Everybody knows that. We've been saying it we've been screaming it from the hilltops for over a year now. People are finally listening. But one of the discussions that we had I had it with Mason actually, right? And it's like, what does a rental look like, right? So I do refinances for people all the time, and they're getting shocked at the cash to close, and I'm like, the cash to close is based on a cash flow. If rates are going up, the cash flow is going down, so you better be buying deeper, and yada yada yada. Like, so what the model, right, has changed a little, or the influencing aspects that are affecting the model have changed, right? Rate and the market, prices going up. When you're buying a property, right? Because you handle our acquisitions, what does it have to look like for you to say this is a rental? This is something I'm going to hold.
Yeah, that is a lot. Arguably, I want my cash that's in the deal. I want it back. For me, I want it back in the first year.
First year.
I'm super aggressive with that. Does sometimes am I able to do that? On most cases, yes. Most other investors are not able to do that. I think the average return, I think an investor would say like 5 years, if they can get their money back in 5 years. Because over that 5-year span, they're also adding depreciation and appreciation. So I think that the average normal guy should do some sort of 5-year plan.
Mm-hmm. And when was the last time you had a rental that came across from a wholesaler?
Almost every rental that we have up in Sherman Denison is from a wholesaler.
Yep. When was the last time we had one of those? Like, so my
Oh,
argument,
you mean like how long ago?
Yeah, that's my thing. So,
last year,
exactly,
right? So
exactly.
we're a year, yeah.
My issue is that investors haven't realized that the market's changed. You can no longer get a rental property from a wholesaler. Why? Because the percentages are too high. Okay, unless you find a bang up deal, now, you can. Don't get me wrong, you can. But it is now you are trying to find a diamond in the rough. It is significantly harder. People are going and trying to do the same thing.
You're not articulating your point.
No, I'm not, and that's
you can do it. You cannot do it for free.
Yeah,
You have to do it, and you're going to leave money in the deal.
yeah.
That's what you mean.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Because for the last
people want to invest the same way and have the same outcome,
and for the
that's
last
not.
3 years, they haven't been able to. Or no, yeah, well, because whatever. Actually, for like 7 or 10 years, you've been able to buy, fix up, rent, refinance, get your cash back, do it again. So the average guy who could do 10 rentals is now got 20 and is still trying to add to that and get their money back and not leave any cash in the deal, but that's not possible. That isn't the way burring should be.
And
You should have skin in the game, because you're not worthy to not have skin in the game, right? That's the hard part about this business, and that's the respect that I have for my fellow investors who actually close and actually do deals and actually leave skin in the game and perform. It's more than just buying and I'm going to do this for free. Like, it's not that.
So I'm talking about the market, right? And I talk to Tommy daily, almost hourly. He fucking hates me for it. I always go into his office and just sit there. But the market today, right? Andrew Postel put out a beautifully written post yesterday that I shared. But he was talking about the inverted curve. And right now, if you look at the 10-year minus the 2-year, we're a negative, right? What that means is people are uncertain about after the next 2 years, to the point where, statistically speaking, something catastrophic has happened, right? That has detriment, like I can't even say that word, but that has
Detrimental?
decimated
Oh.
the lending space, right? There's no longer an ARM product, right? There's no longer a 5-1 or something like that. Nobody's willing to take a gamble, right? And let those things that people were throwing their refis under and being able to get their money back out, those products don't exist anymore. But they don't realize it because they're just going and doing the same thing. They're still going to the same wholesaler. They're just buying it and then trying to think
Well-
that they're 75 under and they can get out of it.
Well, I think what all you're identifying is that if you are an investor or call yourself an investor who wants to buy and hold and do the Burr process, if you're relying on your echo chamber to be, inform you fully, I think you're going to be very misinformed.
So he'll pull up my Facebook and
and-
look at the
and-
post I shared from Andrew Postel.
And so it's your turn. And so I think you have to be someone that goes and gets more accurate information that's relative to your business model and what your expectations are out of what you're doing, right? One of the things that you say is you have to refinance for your business purposes at the time, right?
Refinance to your business.
Well, and so you're at the same point, you're buying for your business, right? Like I'm buying with the proper exit strategy or 5 different exit strategies every time. So, I think there's a danger for people to, buy without being fully informed.
So click see more, and then I want Tony to read this.
See more butts?
Yeah. So read that out loud, Tony.
The next 2 weeks will be critically important for the U.S. economy. The second day of Jerome Powell's testimony. Why did you just...
Sorry, trying to make it bigger.
That's what she said. Jerome Powell's testimony to Congress ended with market bets
Do
tilting
you not know how to read?
toward a
What
50
the
basis
fuck?
point increase in rates at this month's Fed meeting. We have not made
Can I
any
do
decision
Let me-
Can you
about
stop?
the
Can you
March
stop?
meeting.
This is fucking painful. Jesus Christ. The second day of the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's testimony to Congress ended with markets bets tilting toward 50 bips increase in rates at the end of Fed's meeting. We have not made any decision about the March's meeting, Powell told the House. Still, momentum based on a larger hike continues to pile up as seen by an increase in short-term rates. The yield on the 2-year Treasury note increased by 5 bips, while the yield on the 10-year note was sharply unchanged versus yesterday's closing levels. As the short end of the curve continues to rise, yield curve inversion keeps you getting deeper and deeper. Today's inversions reached negative 111 bips. That's 1.11%.
That's 1.1.
Yeah, 1.11%. The last time the curve inverted more than 100 basis points was 1981.
I was born.
Right? Inverted yield curves have often preceded recessions, as did in 1981, when the then Fed chair, Paul, waged war on inflation. In addition to mounting concerns about the economy, yield curve inversion has destroyed. Scroll down. Soho. This is what I was getting to, right? So yield conversion has destroyed almost all investor demand for ARM products. The traditional portfolio management strategy is to borrow at a low short-term rates and lend higher long-term ones, right? The spread between the income. I'm done reading. But people have to fucking look out the window. We've been screaming about it for a year now. And that chart goes how long? How long ago?
2007.
2007.
That's-
So all this data is readily available to people.
Yeah, but
I'm making a big harping statement. I know that. Right?
No,
like,
no.
I'm ringing a bell tower, and
but the point is that the average person doesn't. Again, you're getting back to everyone's living in their echo chamber. No one's actually going outside and looking at extenuating circumstances, or hyper evaluating the market the way we do on a daily basis per zip code or something. Like, they're not doing that. They're just looking. The average person is just looking for safety and safe investments. What I think Andrew's point is to try to explain, because he's pretty well known in our market, is to try to explain to people that, stop, like, be careful, right? It's a warning that if you go do a 5 or 10K deposit on a deal without doing your homework, you might lose that money, And so, I think people need to be a little bit more cautious, and that we haven't seen. I think your frustration is we haven't seen many people speak about the reality of what's going to happen if you're not cautious.
Well,
and we're already seeing on the acquisition side, pre-foreclosures. We closed on one Monday and saved somebody from foreclosure Tuesday. We have another one or two more. So there's a lot of things that are happening that no one in the broader spectrum. I don't want to say mainstream, because that's
so that's what I'll wear the tinfoil hat today. I don't give a shit. But no, that's my frustration comes with the mainstream, right? Where all this info is readily available, right? Nothing should be a shock, but the mainstream doesn't talk about it. Mainstream is everything's fucking Joe Biden's shit and roses.
No, I get it.
His economy is shitting roses. Unemployment is so low. Guess what? Powell's raising the rate until he sees that unemployment rise. He's literally telling people flat out, I'm going to keep raising the rates until it hurts.
It's his job.
Yeah.
But I also think that if we're talking about local investors in local markets, everyone is going to be investing different. The people that are investing in Arizona and Nevada right now they're working off of, they've lost market value in the last few months, right? We aren't.
Yeah.
In Texas, we aren't. Now, maybe in some submarkets, maybe you're, So I think either way, you're still dealing with it on a local level. Again, not to defend the average person. It's just more of like, hey, don't go out there and bite more than you can handle without. It's got nothing to do with politics. It's more about, if you really want to do this, you need to be educated. And unfortunately, that education isn't going to come from your popular media sources. The education is going to come from a local group, local investors, local meetups like we do. I think Thursday.
Next Thursday.
So Thursday,
the 16th.
Thursday, people, honestly, Thursday.
We have our open door, open house. Just come to our office and
Thursday,
chat.
People can come out and talk to us, and it's your turn, and discuss this with us in person, right? Like, that's what I'm. So you're throwing it out there.
So
with the
my
tinfoil hat.
big
I'm
takeaway.
saying, make sure you go get the data, and don't be afraid to have a local network that you rely on, whether it's full of bankers or private money lenders or appraisers. Your local level group is who you need to be listening to. And if something doesn't sound right, then go to the interwebs and try to get more data, right? But definitely don't rely on big media.
So, yes, you need to. Your real estate is all purchased local, right? Smaller data pools, right? Like, that's all fine and dandy, but money is on a national scale, right? Like that's the way.
Oh man, it would have been great if that collapsed during that statement, because you're literally talking about the collapse of our world, and it just happened right in front of us live.
And that's what people have to realize is like that, right? It all comes from Wall Street. It all, like all of that, right? Even our local private lenders, right? They are influenced by Wall Street's rates and so if the national market's taking a hit,
yes,
your local lenders will also reflect that, even though we are in DFW and we're in the safest market, right? Like, so again, take it with a grain of salt.
Well,
I'm over here ringing a bell.
all I mean is come and talk to us about it if you're in DFW. Actually, somebody came from Austin last month. So if you're in Texas, drive up here on Thursday. What day?
It's the 16th. It's 5 to 7 right in Farmers Branch. So it's our open house.
It's in North Dallas at our HQ. So come and talk to us, and we'll talk about the doom and gloom of the world, which is really not that bad.
Yeah. So let's. I think we can wrap it up on that Django fall.
Yeah. That was the last one. We're 1 for 1. I was hoping we ended where you lost both, and then I would have, but we're even.
Yeah.
Tiebreaker next week.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, next week we'll do Rochambeau.
Okay.
What's that?
I go first.
I don't know what that is.
Where
That's
we just
weird
kick each
people
other in
call
the
rock
nuts.
paper scissors. Oh, never mind.
All
why I
right.
go
Well,
first.
thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this bullshit segment.
We're gonna have some new interviews going soon. I have a lineup of people that I want to
Can
get
we
on
put-
here and talk with. So
Can you put a tinfoil hat on for the next episode?
yeah, I guess I can.
Because that would be ideal.
It'll work.
Do you need some tea, Tony?
I got all the tea. I got all the tea I need.
Thanks for watching, guys. Follow along for more. We're on TikTok, Instagram, OnlyFans, all the live ones.
Bookface.
Yeah. Follow along on Eventbrite open house next Tuesday, the 16th, Farmers Branch,
5 p.m.
5 p.m., 5 to 7. Come and network. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, smash that like button. Click subscribe, follow along for more. Click the bell, subscribe.
Yeah, and if you like us that much, share us with your friends, and stay tuned for more.
Keep crushing it.